Rhythms is brought to you by KRT LLC, providing full-service tank cleaning, painting, fire watch, and shipboard maintenance for marine, industrial, government, and commercial businesses. The KRT website is www.k-r-t-llc.com, and you can call them at 757-228-3452. KRT LLC, your leading provider in quality shipboard solutions. Hi, I'm Terrence Affer Anderson, and this is Biorhythms. If you had a voice that could stop traffic, what would you do? Who would you be? What would you become? What would you do professionally? Well, I have a man here that's going to tell you how you can do all of those things. A very, very good friend of mine. My guest today is Mr. Michael Lemelle. How you doing, brother?
I'm well, brother. It's always my pleasure. Always.
Likewise.
We're more like family.
Oh, we definitely family. Everybody knows that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we talk about how long we've known one another. Let's go back. Let's take the Wayback Machine. You two have another thing about the Wayback Machine.
All right.
But let's take that and go back to when we first met. We were talking about that earlier. You think you had seen the show that I'd done?
Yes, sir. I think it was
it must have been
something with On Cue. You had a company called On Cue Productions, and it was in the early '80s. And I was
about 35.
I was going to say you were already an adult.
Oh, shut up now. I was in my 30s.
But I saw you in a few productions and was very intrigued. One being Soldier's Play.
A Soldier Story. I directed that.
Right.
Yeah, it actually was a Soldier Story. Was the name of it.
You that was your company doing the show, and it was your work.
Okay, but we're here to talk about you. Okay. And I remember seeing you in something with Children's Comedy Factory.
Oh yeah,
that's going way back.
It's going way back. As a matter of fact, I just like to say that because I just lost Margie Day recently, and she was an iconic figure in the music world, and personally for me, giving me one of the people instrumental in my professional start.
Now she ran Center Stage.
She ran Center Stage, and which the Children's Comedy Factory was born out of Center Stage. Productions.
You used to perform with Center Stage.
I did.
Yeah, I have
quite a bit.
I'm mistaken. I was thinking that I had first seen you with the Children's Comedy Factory, but it may have been Center Stage.
It was, and
because I remember you were very.
Yes, I was, and we had the practices. The practices were being held at Norfolk State in the Fine Arts Building, and
for Center Stage.
For Center Stage.
Okay.
And but we performed at Chrysler Museum.
Right.
And quite a few other places, and I was touring my first time in New York performing. It was with Center Stage.
What was that? What was the show?
We were doing Get On Board Little Children.
Okay.
And it was a collage of pieces about the Underground Railroad and the African American experience. From trying to runaway slaves and such, and it was called Get On Board Little Children, and I played a couple of different slaves, and then I also played Levi Coffin, which is a white abolitionist, and it had all the makeup. Kind of reminds you of a Dave Chappelle skit or Eddie Murphy playing these characters, but it was very good. It was wonderful as a child to be encouraged to be free to express.
Now, and Margie Day, as you point out, was a real icon in the community,
yes.
and internationally known.
I was gonna say globally, yes, globally.
Yes.
Yep, Little Red Rooster. So
right.
records.
Not that I was around when that was done, but I do.
I definitely was.
Yeah. And of course, Renee Williams Walk
yes.
ran Children's Comedy Factory.
Yes.
I want to make sure we
another staple in my life. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So what did those experiences as a child, how did those experiences help to shape your career, your interests?
Wow, they were paramount because prior to that, it was mostly family that were pouring into my gifts or allowing me to be.
You have a gifted family.
Thank you.
Thank
you. Allowing me to be expressive, but the platforms were relegated to church, basically church and school sometimes, family gatherings. And I went to see my mother took me, I remember specifically, we would spend a weekend and do something cultural. So this particular weekend we went to the Chrysler Museum. I had been there before. I just like to go to the museum, and I like art and like yourself, visual arts and things that were just people's expression. Love that. And so we went to the Chrysler Museum. While there, we heard about there was a children's group performing. It was center stage. They were doing actually doing Get On Board Little Children, and I was enchanted. I actually stood up for most of the show, and I said, "Mom, this is what I have to be a part of it. I have to do it. I have to." And she was like, "Calm down. I got to do it. I got to do it." And afterwards, she asked about how could her, the child be involved. Right. And it turns out that there are three of us.
And you said, "Hi, my name is Michael," and said, "Well, we want him."
They did. It kind of went like that for real. And Miss Margie wanted to talk to me, and my mom was there, and she asked me some questions, and noticed that my mom didn't jump in to answer. I was speaking for myself, and she was just taken with that. And like I said, there were three of us. Couldn't really afford the program in the traditional sense, and Miss Margie said, "Just let them come anyway. We'll figure it out." And got some scholarships, and my mom did pay what she could afford, and we were in there. And
so you went from that community experience that you kept with for a while, and then you ran into Miss Connie Hindmarsh.
Yes,
Lake Taylor.
Connie Hindmarsh was so amazing because she had a program. Everyone is more familiar with the Governor School of the Arts, and they always seem to be viewed as the I guess we would say the elitists. They had the best grades, they had the best financial backing, the best interests of the community, so to speak.
And then there's Connie.
And then there's Connie.
We have to take a little bit of a break here, but I want to talk a lot more about Connie Hindmarsh, your experiences at Lake Taylor, some of the folks that you met, and how that really helped to shape your career.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Stick around, we're going to be back in just a few moments.
Choices, chances, and consequences. The decisions that you make or don't make, they're going to affect your future.
Welcome back to Biorhythms, brought to you by KRT, Tank Cleaning with a Woman's Touch. Talking to a good friend of mine, Mr. Michael Lemelle. When we left, we were talking about your experience at Lake Taylor High School with the one and only Connie Hindmarsh.
Yes, Connie Hindmarsh. She was so instrumental in shaping the performer that I have become, and I love her for it. We were a ragtag bunch over there at Lake Taylor, and the outcast, if you will, and she saw in us a greater thing and helped us to reach it and pull it out. She was amazing for that. Just simply amazing.
And I've had the good fortune of working with several other folks that were not teens when I worked with them, but very young.
Yes, sir.
Still very young.
Yes, sir.
Yourself, of course, and Tori Russell,
James
Cooper, and Terrell Guy.
Yes.
You mentioned.
Yes, yeah. They were all there, and we have tremendous friendships which have become family. We're all family, and every one of them, even every one of the names you just mentioned, are all performing right now.
Oh yes.
And some we didn't mention, and they are from Broadway to television to Terrell just posted that he won a jazz artist of the year or something in Philly. Yes. So my hats off to all of my fellow
what do you
repertoryites.
What do you think made that so special? I know Connie was a gel, but
yes, the common interest of being allowed to express through the medium of the arts, and someone allowing us to do that and seeing greater in us. And helping us to see greater in ourselves. She saved lives. The program literally saved some lives and helped to develop some lives. And it should be the arts do that anyway. The arts at large, they do that. Whatever your choice of medium, whether it be playing an instrument or just even the spoken word, they change attitudes and lives, and just an advocate for letting the arts breathe and live and pouring more into them. But it hasn't happened. Unfortunately, that program doesn't exist anymore.
That's a real tragedy.
It is a real tragedy.
Because I rather gather that she instilled in you all discipline that was essential to survive professionally, as well as professional acumen and a real broad appreciation of the arts.
Yes.
That you were able to take and do other things beyond Lake Taylor.
Yes, living.
Give us some of the kind of things that you've done beyond Lake Taylor.
Beyond Lake Taylor.
We're going to talk about some of the real exciting things.
We should mention, since he's a friend of ours as well, that Sam Roundtree was performing during that time as well. He had the Playmakers over at Booker T, and I often would sneak over there, unbeknownst to my parents.
It's okay.
To go over there and be under his tutelage as well. Another centerpiece in the arts community, and for the generation, I guess what they were,
an icon.
X by then. Yes, absolutely, in his own right. He actually wrote pretty much single-handedly the curriculum for the arts program over at Booker T, which is it's the academy now, the Arts Academy. He's instrumental in that. So hats off to Sam Roundtree. Love him as well. I have.
After the high school experience, I know you went to Hampton for a little while, but the pull was irresistible.
Yes. I was already, working and making some money doing the things that people were going to get an education for. Really, and my mom kind of gave me an ultimatum, not an ultimatum, but a choice, which she's always given me the choice and tried to guide that choice, but allowed me to have it, and my brother and sister, and said, if you give me a year, just give me some of it and go, kind of the idea that you don't knock it until you tried it. That works. So I said I would go, and I went for some time, and it's like, man, I can't do this. And actually, there was a film going on at the time, a TV film, Mother's Day, No Earthly Reason.
Oh yeah,
remember that?
I was in that.
Yes, you were.
You know, well, so a friend of mine told me that he saw me in the screen. I appeared about that big.
Yeah, it was with
Malcolm Jamal Warner,
Bernie Casey, Melba Moore, Denise Nichols.
Yes.
So I was the stand-in for Malcolm Jamal Warner, actually. And that time, many years ago, we had digital pagers. So
I still have
my pager went off. I was at Hampton, and my next class was going to be math. Didn't like it. And I was in Mr. Bonetemp's class, African American Studies. It was a great class. I loved it. I asked him, can I go to the bathroom? My page went off. It was my agent. And I went to the set, and I never went back to class. I never went back to school. And my mom didn't know at that time that I had stopped. They found out later. So she wasn't really happy about that. But, you know, we stuck to the agreement. And
I remember the scene that I was in was on 35th Street.
Yes.
Now, you guys lived on 35th for a while, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Would you live there during that time?
No. It was a little bit after. And it was right in the next block. We actually own that house now. It's on 35th Street. And that whole corridor has changed, actually, a lot from when we filmed. And even from when I was growing up. I grew up around the corner from where we were filming on Debris, like 34th and Debris.
I used to live over there.
Yeah.
On Omahandra and 35th.
And so it has changed.
Well, listen, we're going to have to take another break, all right?
Okay.
But what I want to do is when we come back, we're going to fast forward to all the exciting things that you're doing now. Major projects.
All right.
Stay tuned, guys. We'll be right back.
Damn, boy. I think you done stepped in.
Because I don't know what you'll do, I'll do anything to get rid of you. And I'm not alone. If you thought the world was against you before you joined the gang, you'll know it is after you join.
Gangs, no peace, no rest, no love, no acceptance, no life. Gangs, no way.
So, there were some things that you did along your career that took you to that point where you could be cast in a movie directed by Meg Ryan and featuring Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks and Sam Shepard and so forth. One of those things is one of my favorite pieces, and we're going to find that, where you played a Grenadian revolutionary.
Yes, it was Untold Stories of the Navy SEALs. It was a series, and you were actually in it and featured as well. we were in the same thing.
I had a small role. I got to look like this. Okay.
Actually,
but you had speaking.
We actually, which is kind of, on TV, I had to. I can't say the pleasure, right? I can't say the pleasure of assassinating you, but yes, my character.
You just kill your friends, or me and Rod Suter.
Kill them all. Yep, I killed them all. Who else was that? Was it Lucius Bennett or somebody?
I think
it was somebody like.
Yeah, it was one other person.
Yeah,
there were four of us.
Killed them all. Yes,
I'm going to remember that.
Well, that was a good piece. I think we're going to have to find a clip of that.
We'll find it.
These are the untold stories of the Navy SEALs. October 1983, Grenada. The Caribbean island was in chaos. A military coup had overthrown the government and taken over the island.
bring those prisoners out.
Prime Minister Maurice Bishop, beloved by his countrymen and a friend of the U.S., had been ousted and thrown into prison. Over 9,000 supporters tried to rescue him. His life hung in the balance. Leading the coup was General Hudson Austin, a ruthless protege of Fidel Castro. He had been Bishop's comrade and friend until the Prime Minister moved to strengthen ties with the U.S. Austin took control of the island's military and pronounced himself leader of the PRA, the Provisional Revolutionary Army. When Bishop stood up for freedom, Austin unleashed his fury.
Fight!
I did that. I was doing a lot of stuff at New Dominion Pictures down out in Suffolk. All the reenactments, FBI Files, the New Detectives. One for a couple of weeks I would be a cop, and then the next week I would be a drug lord, kingpin. Right. You know. So I did a lot of those out at New Dominion. Did some stuff with John Forte. Because he was doing it at that time. Yeah, great guy.
And you were also in Spike Lee's Clockers, right?
Yes, I was a feature in that, which Monty produced. And interestingly enough, I didn't meet Monty at the time. Or
Monty Ross.
Monty Ross, sorry. Yes, Monty Ross. And was in that. Did a...
Nothing to Lose.
Nothing to Lose. I did that film. You've been reading my resume.
Oh, no, I just know
Google me.
Yeah, family,
right, exactly. I did Nothing to Lose, and that was good with Tim Reed and Brian Hooks, and Tim Reed actually helped produce the film. If you speak up,
some things meant to be kept quiet, you feel me?
Chances are you'll be putting your mother and yourself in harm's way. But if you keep quiet,
snitches get stitches and wind up in ditches.
You might be left alone.
If we ain't friends,
maybe.
Then you know what it is.
And then fast forward to, I was doing a lot of voiceover work. I still do a lot of voiceover work.
This is where it's always been. The mystique, the mystery, the edge.
Tell us about some of that. You've done some exciting things.
Wow,
you did a Super Bowl thing at one point.
I did for Popeye's Chicken, Cox Cable, Dollar Tree. I've been doing recently the Pac-12 football conference, college football, do it for Fox and ESPN. Welcome to the Pac-12. So that's me doing that. And I've done all these wonderful things with voiceovers. Did some stuff for Disney a few times. The commercials, not cartoons. I really want to get into that next, doing cartoon voiceovers.
Well, unfortunately, we're about to run out of time. So can you give the name of your website?
I can. It's my name, Michael Lemelle.
Okay.
MichaelLemelle.com. And I owe that to a dear friend of mine, Sean Whitaker, for his company. Direct to You. They've been doing Alley Street Media. They've been doing this stuff. But mostly, I wanted to say thank you to Michelle Gilliam and Fair and Worthy Consulting. She's been managing. She was instrumental in me getting the job with Meg and them, because I was in LA at the time, and she made that happen. So yes, thank you, Michelle.
We're gonna have to bring you. We're gonna have to bring you back, Mike. Thank you very much for coming and talking to us today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate
We're gonna get together and do something. We'll be on camera again.
Yes.
Thank you guys for joining us as well. This has been Biorhythms.